Okay, students. So this week we're gonna talk about mean, which I mean mean absolute deviation, which is MAD. That's what I meant to say. So the MAD, what is the MAD? So mean absolute deviation. So what comes to your mind should be mean, right? We're gonna work with the mean of the data set. And also absolute. You worked with before here in algebra when we talked about absolute value. Absolute value is the distance of something to a certain value, right? Or zero, right? So we're gonna mix those concepts. So the first thing, so mean absolute deviation, a measure that gives the average distance of each data value to the mean. So notice that we talked about distance when we look at this word absolute, right? Steps to find it. So there are certain steps we got to follow. So the first step, we definitely need the mean. That's the first thing that we need. Then the second step will be find the distance of each value from the mean. So from the mean, so the distance, okay? So we're gonna have to do some subtraction here. I'll show you how that looks. And then step 3, you're gonna have to take the average of these distances. Again, we're gonna do the same thing we usually do with the mean. We add them up and divide by how many we have. So that's the average. All right, let's do some examples. So it says find the mean absolute deviation of data sets A, B, and C near round to the nearest 10. So that's just one decimal point. All right, so the first thing, you have a data set here. You have 1, 3, 5, 14, and 17. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. First step would be to find the mean. So let's add them up together. We get 1 plus, I'm going to do this with you guys. So we get 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 14 plus 17. We get 40. So that's 40 divided by how many? We have 5. So our mean is 8. Okay, so the MAD will, well, let's look at the MAD. So it says find the distances of each value from the mean. So that's number 2. Then that would be what? It would be, so 8 minus 1, right? So 8 minus 1, 8 minus 3, 8 minus 3, 8 minus 5, 8 minus 5, 8 minus, well, let's do the absolute value, which is 14 minus 8, right? So no negatives here, and then 17 minus 8. All right, and then we find those values. When we find those values, we find, so 8 minus 1, that's 7, and then 8 minus 3, that's 5, 8 minus 5, that's 3, 14 minus 8, that is 6, and then 17 minus 8, that is 9. And then we said that we're going to average these distances. All right, let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should have 5 because we have 5 numbers. So then we get 30, what is it? 7 plus 5 plus 3 plus 6 plus 9. That's 30 divided by how many we have, which is 5. And we get the MAD is 6. Okay, and that's it. That's all you're doing here. All right, let's do another one. So then it says, same thing here. So if I find the mean, I know that the mean for a fact that is 8 because I did it already. So the mean is 8. You guys know how to find the mean already. Then the MAD, we're going to jump to number 2. The MAD will be A minus 5, that's 3. A minus 6, that is 2. 8 minus 8, that's 0. 8 minus, well, 9 minus 8, that's 1. And then 12 minus 8, that is 4. And then you add them up and divide by how many you have. So let's do that. You have 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4, that is 10. And 10 divided by 5 is 2. Divided by 5 is 2. And that is the math. Okay. So you're going to see some examples like this, and then you're going to see some examples like this. Let's see. So it says the speed in miles, so in context, right? The speed in miles per hour of Will's last 6 pitches are 71, 78, 75, 74, 80, 72. So the first step would be, it says find the mean absolute deviation of each data set. Round answers to the nearest times if necessary. So that means the first decimal point. So the first thing, we're going to find the mean. So we're going to add them all. That would be 71 plus 78 plus 75 plus 74 plus 80 plus 72. That's 450 divided by how many I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So divided by 6, I'm going to divide by 6, and I get 75. So that is my mean. They're not asking me for my mean. They're asking me for my MAD. So my MAD would be, I'm going to have to subtract each of the numbers here from the mean. Get those values. So this is my first step. My second step, subtract. So that's 75 minus 71, and then the next one, 78 minus 75, no negatives, 75 minus 75. I'm just rewriting this so you guys know what to do. And then 75 minus 74, and then 80 minus 75, and then 75 minus 72. Those are all my values here. So I'm going to have to find them. So let's do that. I'm going to write them up here. So that's number, okay. So 75 minus 72, that's 4. 78 minus 75, that's 3. 75 minus 75, that's 0. 75 minus, that's 1. 80 minus, so that's 5 and 3, right? And then now I'm going to add them up and divide by how many we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I put a 2 here. Sorry about that. That is 6 values. We're going to find the average there. So that's 4 plus 3 plus 0 plus 1 plus 5 plus 3. That is 16. So 16 over 6, and how much is that? You divide by 6, you get 2.6 or 2.7. 2.7. And that is my MAD. Okay, that's the distance from each of the values to the mean. Okay, so the mean of the values. And I hope this helps.